The sun had barely pierced through the dense jungle canopy when the emergency call came in. Reports of a German shepherd trapped in the lethal coils of a massive python had spread panic through a nearby village. The dog, a loyal companion to a wildlife ranger named Mira, had been chasing a wild boar near the swamp when it encountered the serpent. This was no ordinary snake. Locals whispered about its enormous size and uncanny stealth, a shadowy predator that had been silently stalking the outskirts of human settlements for months. The SWAT team, renowned for handling extreme wildlife emergencies, had been dispatched immediately. As they approached the jungle's edge, the tension was palpable. Each member knew the danger. One wrong step could trigger the python's lightning-fast strike. Equipped with reinforced snake hooks, tranquilizer rifles, and thermal imaging cameras, the team moved in calculated silence. Max, the team's trained Belgian Malinois, growled lowly, sensing the lurking danger. Mira followed closely behind, her hands trembling with concern for her beloved dog. The jungle was alive with sounds, distant bird calls, the rustling of leaves, and an unsettling hiss that seemed to come from all directions. As the team drew closer, the sheer size of the snake became terrifyingly apparent. Its thick, muscular body coiled around the dog, the scales glinting with a deadly sheen. Every inch of the serpent exuded raw power, and the German shepherd's whimpers echoed a distress that could pierce the hardest heart. Time was against them, but hesitation could mean the end. Captain Arjun, the SWAT team leader, signaled silently, and the team split strategically, some positioning to distract the snake, while others prepared to extract the dog. The first approach was a dance of nerves and precision. The python, sensing intruders, tightened its grip instinctively, its coils flexing like iron bands. Max barked a warning, lunging carefully to divert its attention, but the snake's head lifted with alarming speed, eyes cold and calculating. Tranquilizers were readied, but the margin for error was minimal. A missed shot could enrage the serpent further. Arjun assessed the situation, noting the angles and pressure points where the coils constricted around the dog. Mira's heart pounded as she crawled forward, whispering soft reassurances to her canine companion. Every second felt like a lifetime. The jungle pressing down on them was suffocating. The team synchronized their moves like a well-rehearsed operation, each member reading the other's intentions without words. Vikram extended a long hook beneath the snake, attempting to leverage the python's weight. The serpent reaction was instantaneous. A violent thrash sent the team stumbling backward, mud and leaves flying in chaotic patterns. Yet, the plan persisted. A second hook was deployed, pressing against the coils at just the right point to create a slight slack. Mira, seizing this opportunity, edged closer, her hands steady despite the fear clawing at her chest. The dog whimpered but didn't resist, sensing that reinforcements had arrived. Arjun gave the silent signal to proceed with extraction, and the team carefully began to untangle the thick loops, moving as one, muscles straining and hearts racing. Every motion had to be precise. The snake's next strike could be fatal, but the dog's safety depended entirely on their courage and skill. The struggle intensified as the python realized its hold was weakening. Its massive head rose, fangs glinting menacingly, tongue flicking rapidly as if tasting the fear in the air. Max barked and lunged again, narrowly avoiding the serpent's snapping jaws. Mira reached the dog's side, wrapping her arms around it, feeling the rapid thumping of its heart against her chest. Arjun coordinated the team's movements with terse, deliberate commands, calculating the exact angle to leverage the snake without triggering a violent response. Sweat streamed down their faces, mixing with dirt and blood from minor scratches sustained during the struggle. The jungle seemed to hold its breath as every member strained to their limits. Vikram pressed a hook beneath the snake's coils, levering it upward just enough to create the final gap. The python hissed, a deep, reverberating sound that shook the leaves, but the team held firm. Slowly, painstakingly, the German shepherd was freed from the deathly embrace. The aftermath of the rescue revealed both the fragility and resilience of life. The German shepherd, panting heavily and trembling, was gently examined by Mira, who found no major injuries but multiple bruises and superficial cuts. Its loyalty had remained unwavering, even in the face of near-certain death. The python, realizing its prey was gone, retreated slowly into the undergrowth, leaving behind a trail of disturbed leaves and broken branches. Arjun debriefed the team, noting every move and reaction for future operations, ensuring that the tactics employed could be refined for even greater efficiency. Max, the team's canine partner, received a well-earned pat on the head. The rescue had tested not only physical skill, but psychological resilience. By twilight, the team began their journey back to the dense foliage, the path illuminated only by flashlights and fading sunlight. The German shepherd trotted closely beside Mira, a survivor marked by the peril it had endured. The SWAT team's coordinated effort had transformed a potential tragedy into a story of triumph. Every member reflected on the synchronized precision, silent communication, and mutual trust vital for such a dangerous mission. Villagers gathered, offering heartfelt thanks and marveling at the bravery displayed. The jungle night hummed softly, an orchestra of nocturnal life, serenading the end of one perilous adventure, while promising many more stories of bravery and resilience. Mira and her German shepherd sat together, sharing quiet companionship, grateful for life, courage, and the unbroken bond between humans and animals. The journey back through the dense jungle was slow and cautious, with every step measured against the shadows that seemed to lurk beneath the thick undergrowth. The golden hue of the setting sun filtered to the trees, illuminating the disturbed foliage where the python had retreated. Mira held her German shepherd close, feeling its fur damp with sweat and mud, its rapid heartbeat a reminder of how close they had come to tragedy. Max, the SWAT team's Belgian Malinois, moved carefully ahead, sniffing and scanning for any lingering danger, his body tense but controlled. Each member of the SWAT team carried a mixture of relief and exhaustion, their muscles sore from the physical demands of the rescue, and their minds still sharp with adrenaline. The air was thick with the earthy scent of the jungle after the day's disturbances. Broken leaves, crushed plants, and the faint metallic hint of dried blood. The team communicated silently, using hand signals and glances, each understanding precise coordination required to navigate the remaining distance safely. Mira's thoughts were torn between gratitude for the team's courage and concern for the dog's well-being. Every small sound made her heart race. Despite the danger, there was a sense of camaraderie, a bond forged in shared struggle and life-or-death stakes. Even the birds that flitted between branches seemed to move with a tentative caution, as if acknowledging the tension that had permeated the forest hours earlier. Each step reminded the team of the python's immense strength and precision needed to extract the German shepherd without further harm. The dog, though trembling at moments, stayed close to Mira, its eyes reflecting both fear and trust, showing the deep loyalty that had survived the encounter. As the canopy thinned slightly near a riverbank, the team allowed themselves a brief moment to breathe and collect their strength, knowing the last stretch would still demand their utmost vigilance. The jungle, though seemingly calm now, was a living entity that could shift from tranquil to perilous in an instant, and every member of the team respected its unpredictability. Reaching a safer clearing near the village, Mira knelt to examine her German shepherd more thoroughly. The dog's coat was streaked with mud, scratches, and faint bruises, but its eyes gleamed with a renewed sense of life, and it wagged its tail tentatively. Captain Arjun gathered the team around, offering words of encouragement and ensuring that everyone's physical and emotional states were checked. The villagers, who had anxiously observed the rescue from a distance, began to approach slowly, bringing blankets, water, and soft foods for the animals. They murmured words of admiration and relief, clearly awed by the bravery demonstrated by the SWAT team. Mira felt tears prick her eyes as she whispered soothing words to her dog, brushing away dirt and calming its racing heart. The team took the opportunity to assess the area, confirming that the python had fully retreated into the denser parts of the jungle, leaving behind only the disrupted foliage as evidence of its strength. Max, ever vigilant, allowed himself a brief moment of rest beside Mira, his ears still alert to any sounds of movement. The atmosphere was a mix of exhaustion, triumph, and quiet reflection. Each member recognized that the day's events had tested not only their physical limits, but also their ability to maintain composure under extreme stress. The delicate balance between human courage, animal instinct, and environmental hazards had been navigated successfully, leaving behind lessons that would inform every future mission. Mira's gratitude toward the SWAT team was immense. They had demonstrated unwavering courage, precise skill, and unwavering dedication to preserving life in the face of a formidable predator. The village, now bathed in the soft light of early evening, seemed to breathe collectively with relief, and the sense of community support reinforced the emotional impact of the rescue. Night fell fully as the team prepared to make the final journey back to their base. Flashlights cut through the thick darkness, casting elongated shadows across the uneven ground, and the chirping of nocturnal insects and distant calls of jungle creatures provided a tense but oddly comforting soundtrack. The German shepherd walked beside Mira, occasionally leaning into her for reassurance, while Max led the team with silent confidence, nose low and ears perked for any indication of remaining threats. The python, though a powerful and dangerous predator, had retreated completely, yet the awareness of its presence remained a psychological weight on the team. Captain Arjun reminded everyone that vigilance must remain even in seemingly safe zones, emphasizing that the jungle's dangers often persisted long after immediate threats had been neutralized. Every member reflected on the delicate orchestration of tactics, teamwork, and trust that had been crucial during the rescue. Each decision, from the careful placement of hooks to the coordinated distraction maneuvers, had been executed under the constant threat of injury or death. The successful extraction of the German shepherd was not merely a victory over the python, but a demonstration of the profound interplay between preparation, instinct, and bravery. Mira's thoughts wandered to her dog's perspective, the fear, confusion, and ultimately the relief it must have felt. She stroked its fur gently, reassuring it silently that it was safe now, yet aware that the trauma would linger briefly in its memory. The team's return journey was quiet, punctuated only by the occasional rustle of leaves or snapping of a twig underfoot, reminding them of the vigilance required in such unpredictable environments. Each step back to safety became a meditation on the fragility and resilience of life, the intertwined fates of humans and animals, and the extraordinary courage required to protect both. By the time they reached the village edge, the first stars were beginning to glimmer in the sky, casting a soft, peaceful light over the landscape. Villagers lined the pathway, greeting the team and the rescued German shepherd with smiles, applause, and heartfelt gratitude. Lanterns illuminated the area, creating an almost magical ambience as Mira cradled her dog, feeling its warmth and steady heartbeat against her chest. Max trotted proudly beside her, alert yet relaxed, while the SWAT team members exchanged nods and smiles, their exhaustion mingled with satisfaction. The rescue had tested their limits physically, mentally, and emotionally, and yet it concluded with life preserved and courage validated. In the quiet of that evening, the villagers Mira, the German shepherd Max, and the SWAT team shared profound understanding of the bonds that connect humans and animals, the power of teamwork, and the importance of bravery in the face of unpredictable dangers. The jungle behind them returned to its nocturnal rhythm, indifferent yet alive, and the python disappeared into the shadows, its presence leaving only a story of suspense and awe. Mira whispered to her dog, promising continued protection and care, while the team reflected silently on the lessons learned. Every member knew that the jungle would present future challenges, but in that moment, hope, loyalty, and courage had triumphed. The story of this rescue would live on, a testament to the indomitable spirit of life, the quiet heroism of both humans and animals, and the enduring bonds that emerge in the face of danger.